Well, hello, my friends. Today I'm going to show you how narcissists create superheroes. Now, this isn't going to be your classic video where I get stuck into narcissists are evil. I'm actually going to tell you that the narcissist in your world, if you're that healer or empath or light worker, that narcissist is there to help you, even though it doesn't see it. It doesn't seem like it right now, folks, because they've probably gaslit you. They've probably wound you up. They've probably done 101 horrible things, said nasty things. They've really hammered you. Your self-confidence has taken a battering. Well, I'm going to tell you in this video, I'm going to explain it briefly now. Everything happens for a reason, and pressure creates diamonds. Pressure creates diamonds, folks. And every healer, empath, light worker needs a narcissist in their world to wake them up to their superheroes. And what are the superheroes? What are the superhero powers? Well, in this video, folks, we're going to cover the reason why that happens, the reason why healers, empaths, light workers attract narcissists into their world. I'm going to explain the roles and the mechanics of it. And I'm going to also tell you how this is a good thing, even though you probably aren't realizing it yet. Because if you're in the mix, it's going to absolutely rip you apart internally. It's going to break down your world in a way that you haven't seen before. It's going to smash the reality structures of your entire existence, and you're going to have to rebuild yourself. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the pattern. Let's talk about where it began. So there you were, living your nice, peaceful, healing life, doing good for people, uh, being empathic, being a peacemaker, being a force for good, being optimistic, probably drawn into the healing, empathic path. You're possibly a healer, a nurse, a doctor. You've probably been drawn into other professions that help people, designed to help people, where you feel good when you give. You feel good to give. It feels good to give. And this is a default setting for the healer and the empath. It's good to give, folks. You're the person that will probably drop everything, especially for your best mate, but probably even a random stranger that was in distress. This is the profile of the healer and the empath. And somewhere through life, what happens is you connect in a relationship, maybe in your family even. There's a narcissist there. Now, this word is thrown around. So let's just highlight. I've got another word. In fact, before I understood what a narcissist was, for 40 plus years, I had a very different word, and it's a universal word. And let's just say nasty person so that I don't get deplatformed. But apparently it's the most offensive word in the English language, which I would disagree with because I think there's way more offensive words, but I won't get lost. So there's words for people that have this, and these are ultimately people with no empathy. A narcissist is someone that cares nothing about anyone but themselves, but they do a really good job of pretending that they do. They've a good side, a bad side. Now, those of you that have been on my channel, you'll know me, that I've talked about this at length. So if you're catching me for the first time with this, I will give you the profile. The narcissist, it's in it for them. They don't care about you. They have no empathy, and they feed energy when they stress you out and when they drain you. By chipping away at your confidence, that's how they get their power. Their power. When you're disempowered, they're powerful. That's how a narcissist works. And they thrive on it. It's not enough to do that to you, but they love it. They get a kick out of it. It's their drug, if you like. So this is what you're dealing with. And it often takes the healer and the empath a time to wake up to this. Because one day it's really bad. The next day, oh, they're so sorry. They've got the flip side, the false side, the one that actually pretends that they have self-awareness and they actually care about you. And you'll flip-flop between them. So, oh, it's a really nice person. Really, he's not like this all the time, or she's not like this all the time. Yeah, you're making excuses for the narcissist. So these are the profile you get stuck in these relationships. Could get physically aggressive. It's almost definitely verbally aggressive. And which one's the worst? Well, you can debate that. You can debate it. It could be argued that the physically aggressive narcissist will wake up the empath faster. There's no good thing, there's no good way, but the whole point is that this is an invitation to form that diamond. Pressure forms diamonds, folks, and that's really the content of this video. That's what I'm going to tell you. So for me, I love wildlife and I love honey badgers. So let's compare it. Maybe you're a badger, folks. You are a badger. Look at the rest of the animal kingdom. We don't function the same way as any other animal in the animal kingdom because it's all about survival for them. So with a honey badger, when they're born, their mother takes the young badger out to get first stung by scorpions, then to get stung by or bitten by increasingly poisonous snakes. And what this has done is to build up their immunity so that they have the skills in life to go out and survive and protect themselves. And this is what's missing. A lot of us get mollycoddled or think that the world is a lovely place and everybody should be nice. And the big mistake that the empath makes is thinking that everyone thinks the same way. No, absolutely not. Couldn't be further wrong there, folks. And if you haven't woken up to this, then maybe this is the wake up for you. So with the badgers, you have to get bitten. You have to be exposed to these negative forces, to things that want to bite you, want to sting you. And what the empath needs to get, what we need to attract into our life is more pain. I know this seems ridiculous. It seems counterintuitive, but we have to jolt into action the side of us that can fight our battles, the side of us that can deal with nonsense, the side of us that deals with the hardest situations in life, the side of us that if we're put in a life or death situation, will opt for life. And that means straying outside of the boundaries of what you know or love or think that you are at the moment. And what happens is the narcissist will crank up the pain in your life. Criticism, gaslighting. They've got some great tactics. They start a fight and then blame you for it. Brilliant. They're brilliant at doing this. They'll accuse you of all the things that they are. That's ultimate projection of a narcissist. They'll tell you that you're the one that started it. They'll tell you you're the one that gaslit them. They'll tell you you're the one projecting all your stuff onto them. They'll start the fight and then they'll blame you for it. This is just one of many, many tactics that a narcissist has. But the bottom line is they're always right. You're always wrong. They'll always start the fights or mainly start the fights, and they will always make you the cause. They'll always manage to get it round. They'll chip away at your confidence. And what they'll do this so persistently that in the end, you'll just be relieved when they stop. You may compromise and just let them be right for the sake of harmony. And you've let this go over time and this pressure is built. This is like a pressure cooker, folks. Pressure keeps building and building and building and building. And it has to keep building until you're ready to say, enough is enough. No more. This is it. I'm ready to fight now. I'm ready to get out. Now, if you're thinking that the narcissist can compromise or change, there's your first mistake. It's not going to happen. They're not going to change who they are. They can't. They've got no empathy, folks. You have to wake up to that. You have to wake up to the fact that they can pretend to be empathic, but they have no empathy. Ultimately, they're in it for them. And the only reason that they pretend to show empathy is to keep you in their web, to give you enough for you not to run away. The only way to deal with a narcissist is to get out. That's the truth of it, folks, to get out. The oxygen for their flames is you listening to their nonsense. And the more you listen to it, the more power they get. More power they get. But the superhero moment comes where you've had enough. Maybe you've had multiple narcissists in your world, and now you're going to do something different. You're going to stand up for yourself. Now, for some people, the fast route is just to get out. Say, no, enough is enough. That's the fast track, folks. But the narcissist won't want to let go. They'll want to keep you in their web. They'll text you. They'll phone you all the time. They'll want to stay in. They'll want to draw you back in. They'll want to get you back in their web. They'll do stuff. They'll inflame you, inflammatory texts or messages just to get you to respond. Very common for the narcissist. But the superpower happens, folks. The superpower happens. And this is a paradox, because in order to deal with the narcissist, if you're going to do it face to face, if you're not just going to cut them off and walk away, is to become the narcissist. It doesn't make you a narcissist. It just allows you, as a healer or an empath, to enter narcissistic energy and give them a taste of their own medicine. Now, this was my route. This was the way I chose. I would actually advise walk away. Sometimes I needed to do this. I needed to own this power. This was a superpower, to match narcissism with narcissism. Because the thing is, when you face off with a narcissist and you reflect their energy, when you become them, when you do to them what they do to you, the narcissist can't take it. And unlike the honey badger that's been bitten and bitten and bitten and bitten, as you're the empath, if you're at that point, you know all of the tricks. They don't. They've not been subjected to their own behavior. And that's where the superpower moment happens. But it's only a superpower if you are prepared to walk away at the end. That's where the superpower comes in, folks. To stand up to it, to say no more nonsense. And for me personally, I've found as I've got older, I've become less tolerant of bullshit. And I call it out really early, because life's too short to deal with nonsense anymore, folks. And this is coming from the guy that used to be Mr. Empath. In fact, just to bring this alive, folks, I used to work as a nurse for 13 years, for those of you that don't know. And I was so good at diffusing angry patients that they used to call me, even when I wasn't working in the wards. They knew that I was the best in the hospital, or some people did. And they would call me from the ward I was working in to go to wards that I wasn't working in to deal with the problem patients and their relatives, because I was so good at calming people down and finding the middle ground. And I can do that, and I'm really good at doing it. But now I choose not to, folks. Not with the people that are there. They're clearly narcissists. They're clearly there to cause as much pain in my life as possible, give them a taste of their own medicine, and then cut them off. Now, that's my path, and that might not be right for you, but this is where the superpower comes in, because now I can identify narcissists early, and you will be able to too. You identify, you know what you're dealing with, and you draw the line. You can enter that zone. You can play them at their own game if you have to. The point being, and my advice to you, is to get out as soon as possible. If you're identifying a narcissist, get out of their world. You will not change a narcissist, but what you will do is you'll raise your game, you'll raise your energy and your power and your pushback mechanism through entering their world to such a point that they will want to move on. A narcissist will move on. When you become too problematic or too difficult to deal with, they'll find another victim. That's the way they work, folks. And even the word victim, I'm going to reframe that. The narcissist has helped you to discover a side of you that you didn't know. The side that is willing to fight your battles, the side that is not prepared to put up with bad behavior, the side to you that is taking no more nonsense, the side to you that can tell people to fuck off if they cross the line. That's the side of you. And from my journey that I can explain, even when I was at my best and I was Mr. Lovely, all I wanted was sweetness and light and to get on with everybody. I wanted to, heal the world and unite everybody. Sometimes I would deal with terrible narcissistic behavior. I'd diffuse it and I'd go home and it would sit with me. It's like, why was I so nice to that asshole that I've just dealt with? And it would sit with me within. It would still little eat away. I should have just given them a smack or, just given them a piece of my mind. And a little bit of that used to eat at me. But I can tell you now, folks, the superhero comes when you just deal with it. You don't take it home. You don't tolerate bad behavior. You address it at the cause. You call it out. And narcissists are also cowards. Most of them are cowards. If you call out their behavior, especially publicly, they hate that. They hate it. They hate it. And if you really want a tactic that will drive a narcissist nuts, is when they tell you to do something and you say no, if you smile at them, the smiling no, folks, no. It drives them insane. It's like kryptonite. It's the big reveal for a narcissist. They won't be able to contain their rage. But anyway, these are little tactics, and I'm not going to tell you to go in and embrace a fight with a narcissist. I'm telling you here to walk away. Your superpower is to realize this is a narcissist. Get out. Get out. That is the fast track. But there's a few little tips and tricks in here that if you do have to face a narcissist, if you're caught in a corner, if you're caught in a situation that you can't get out of, you need to mirror their behavior. And there's the superpower. There's where you embrace your energy. And there's the point where you will go home and you will feel better about yourself. Your relationship with yourself will improve. You'll feel better and you'll be more energized. So there you go, my friends. That is how that a narcissist is your friend when you wake up to this. And hopefully you will wake up to this. So folks, if you are new to the channel, then you can get more tips and tricks and guidance from me of how to energize yourself and feel better by subscribing to the channel. And please like, share, comment. And if you want more of my random musings, then you have a little video there. Thank you, my friends. Now go out and unleash your superhero.